Alright, welcome back everybody. I hope you're all doing well. So, as the springtime here, the weather starts warming up a little bit. We all get excited to get out into the lawn and make some things happen. Snow's probably gone. I'm here in Wisconsin Rapids, and many of you are around the central Wisconsin area. We're getting nice temperatures during the day, but they're still dipping down into the 30s and 40s at night. We all want to get out and do something. It might be too early yet to get out and do a full-on, get the lawnmower out and mow the lawn, and it's not actively growing yet, but it will be shortly. So right now I encourage everyone to still be in the planning phase. Be in the phase of figuring out how much effort you want to put into your lawn this year, and then start thinking about those steps toward how green are you going to want it. Are you going to want to mow it every other day, maybe twice a week, 3 times a week? Or do you just want to stick down to a light schedule of maybe mowing only once a week or a little bit longer? So part of this planning process isn't just how often do you want to mow and what do you want to get out of the lawn overall, but how much money do you want to invest into it. Obviously there's going to be some equipment that you're going to need to purchase or have on hand, things like lawnmowers, a string trimmer, leaf blower, those types of things. Not only the money you spend on equipment, but how about the money you want to spend on product? The product that you're going to acquire and throw down on the lawn, either in granular or liquid form, fertilizers, but also pest and weed control as we go along. Usually starting out with a 4-step process for fertilizing makes the most sense. It's the easiest, most convenient way, and you can find it at all the big box stores or all the hardware stores, wherever you want to shop. So if it's from a name brand like Scott's or just a second-hand brand, which might actually happen to have the same product in it, second-hand doesn't always mean second-rate, but more of a generic labeled product. Those can also be great as well, and you could probably save yourself a little bit of money. So starting out with the basic 4-step program, we know that here in the springtime, things are going to be greening up. Things are going to start growing. That not just means your grass, but also weeds. So getting down a pre-emergent with your first application of fertilizer here in the spring, we're right about the time. We want to wait till the soil temperatures are actually about 50 degrees. Now there are a couple ways to figure that out. Of course, we can get a thermometer and probe into the soil and find out what the actual soil temperature is, or we can investigate in some online programs that will actually track the general soil temperature based on the temperature during the day and evening. Now once we figure out that our soil temperatures are quickly going to be about 50 degrees, that's when things are going to start growing and really getting vibrant, start pushing for the top growth, and we'll see that in nice green leaves. It'll also be the weeds. So that pre-emergent you put down, there are a few that you can look for, but generically, if they sell it in your area, it will be good enough for your area. If there's a fertilizer product that's marketed as a crabgrass pre-emergent, it'll also take care of pre-emerging for most broadleaf weeds as well. So that's good. We want to put that down here, and let's think of the holiday season. So here in the springtime, between April and Memorial Day, would be a good time to do a first application with your pre-emergent, and then right around Memorial Day, hit it with a second application. This one's going to be mostly fertilizer. Now the Memorial Day feeding with fertilizer can also contain some post-emergent, because by then at the end of May we should have a couple, 3-4 weeks of actual growth happening. We'll probably have to have been mowing it a few times already, and the weeds should be actively growing as well. So now the pre-emergent doesn't necessarily kill off the weed seeds. It doesn't quite affect them that way. It'll allow the weed seeds to grow a little bit, but it creates a chemical barrier so that when those seeds try to emerge from the soil, they get knocked down by that layer of chemical pre-emergent. Post-emergents are obviously when post-emergents, and they're actively growing. You can see them, they're obnoxious. That's when you can kick on some post-emergent herbicide. So then we can plan. We know that those are the 2 objects that we can focus on right away in the short term. So if you want to buy those products and keep them on hand, that'd be great. If you want to get a bundle pack of a 4-step program, then our next 2, the 3rd and 4th applications, think about that around the 4th of July, and then coming back and doing your 4th application about Labor Day. So sometime in September or later. Depending on how our weather goes, we can't plan for the year. So sometime into the fall would be perfect for that 4th application. Okay, so that first step in planning, thinking that we might want to do a 4-step planning or maybe even a 3-step. You don't want to hit it with fertilizer right now, right away here. We're in the portion between Easter and Memorial Day, mid-April. That's okay, you can wait a little bit. That just means you won't be pushing that growth so fast. Now our growing portion is right here in the nice cool temperatures when the grass starts getting, into the soil temperatures rather, start getting in like the 60s and 70s. That's great. Grass loves it. The springtime moisture, we've got a lot of storms, a lot of thunderstorms, a lot of free nitrogen coming from the sky in the form of lightning strikes, rain. It's hugely amazing. Now in the summer we know it's going to get nice and hot. That hot is going to slow down the growth a little bit. We might see some drought coming into play, especially if you don't have a permanent irrigation system. We'll talk about irrigation a little bit, maybe in another video. But then in the fall is our second time when growth really happens. So that late summer into fall, temperatures cool down a little bit. We start getting some more rain. It starts creating vigorous growth. So doing a lot of growing mentality things in the spring and in the fall are probably the best bets. Alright, so middle of April, what do we want to do now? The first thing, you want to get outside, inspect your lawn. Take a look at it, see how it's growing, where the problem areas are coming up, and then grab a rake and go around and rake the lawn. Really fluff up the grass, fluff up the material that's there. You might notice that there is some death and decay to the tips of the lawn. It might not have overwintered so well in some spots. That's okay. In maybe a few days, this weekend's supposed to be pretty nice here. We'll go out and we'll get the lawnmower ready and we'll do a good mow, cut it down a little bit, just like a haircut. Take a lot of those issues right off the top from your lawn. Cut it down a little bit. But for right now, the best thing you can do is go and inspect your lawn, take a look at it, really start thinking about how you want this to progress throughout the year. Grab a rake and fluff the lawn, get some good airflow, really try to wake up the soil. Again, you're going to be creating a good situation for air and sun to get into the dirt, start the microbial activity underneath the soil. It's saying, hey, springtime's here. Lawn, I want to play with you. Let's go ahead and wake up. Alright, so that's pretty much it here for the springtime. Get our mindset, get our mind right about what we're going to plan for the rest of the year. The next part is learning more about the lawnmower, making good lawnmower choices, and some tips and tricks for getting the best out of our lawnmower performance in our lawn. Because the best thing we can do for any sort of grass, any sort of lawn, anything that we have in front of or in back of our house is to mow. To mow often and to mow with a good quality lawnmower. So stick around, that'll be our next video. And I hope all of you guys have a great Central Wisconsin day.